A lot of law firms are getting ripped off and don't even realize it. I'm going to expose the 5 biggest red flags your law firm should look out for when working with a Google Ads agency. And stick around for red flag number 5, the too good to be true signed cases agencies. You're not going to want to miss it. If you've ever felt like you're flushing money down the drain with Google Ads, trust me, you're not alone. So many law firms are wasting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month because their ads agencies are making these critical mistakes. But here's the thing. Most of these agencies won't tell you if they've been doing this wrong. So how do you know if your ads agency is actually working for you or just draining your marketing budget? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 red flags you should be looking out for that are telltale signs that you're working with the wrong Google Ads agency. If your ads agency is doing any of these 5 things, it's time to fire them and look for someone who knows what they're doing. Red flag number 1, the set it and forget it method. This is probably one of the most common mistakes that we see and biggest red flags when we're auditing law firms' Google Ads accounts. The first thing that we look at is their change history report. We've seen some accounts that haven't been touched in up to 6 months. This is a huge red flag. Essentially what this means is that your ads agency has the set it and forget it method. And really simply it tells us no one's been managing your account. We don't have to look any further when we're auditing accounts. If we see the change history hasn't been touched every day, week, or month at least, that's your first red flag, that you're probably not working with the right Google Ads agency. Because at the end of the day, Google Ads is not a set it and forget it type game. A good ads agency should be making constant updates, tweaking keywords, making sure that you have the right bidding strategy in place for your law firm, testing ad copy, making sure your landing page is optimized. There's a lot that goes into Google Ads for law firms to make it successful. And as I've said in a lot of my other videos, Google Ads in the legal niche is not only one of the most competitive, but it's one of the most expensive niches in Google Ads. So you really want to know what you're doing. Red flag number 2 is when ad agencies are focused more on clicks than conversions. We see this all the time. Focusing on vanity metrics or only focusing on Google Ads data is a big red flag that your agency is more concerned about vanity metrics than they are about turning those leads into signed cases for your firm. If your agency brags about high click-through rates or CTRs, but you're not getting any calls or forms or signed cases, that's a big red flag. Law firms don't need clicks. They need results. High click-through rates without any conversions means nothing. If your agency isn't constantly talking about your cost per lead or your cost per signed client, they're simply focused on the wrong metrics. Many ads agencies out there focus only on the Google Ads side of the business. This is what we like to call the front end numbers, almost creating an us versus you relationship, constantly telling law firms how great their ads account look, leaving lawyers scratching their head wondering why they don't have any signed cases to show for it. Here at Legal Lead Sharks, we don't just handle Google Ads for law firms. We help law firms set up the back-end conversion to turn the leads from Google Ads into signed cases. We provide a conversion tracking sheet so that we can see what's working and what's not working and make the adjustments and optimizations within your Google Ads to make the most out of your budget. We know vanity metrics don't mean anything. Results are all that matter. If your law firm's been running Google Ads and seeing little to no results, book a no-obligation discovery call with us. The link's in the description below. Let's see if we might be a better fit to work together. Red flag number 3 is that the agency's not tracking calls or the lead quality. If your agency isn't tracking where the leads are coming from and the quality of those leads, and then how many of those leads are turning into signed cases for your firm, they're running blind. Tracking is everything for law firms. It's not enough to just track the clicks. You need to know how many calls or lead forms came in from those ads and how many of those leads actually converted to signed cases. Without this data, you're simply wasting money. Red flag number 4 that you might not be working with the right Google Ads agency for your law firm is that all of your account is running on broad match keywords. Now, running on broad match keywords isn't necessarily a bad thing unless it's not done properly. And your account shouldn't only contain broad match keywords. The reason for this is if you're running keywords like lawyer or attorney, you're going to be flooded with leads for family law, divorce law, estate planning law. And if you're a personal injury firm, all of these clicks are costing your firm money, and those are clicks you will never convert to signed cases. So it's really important when Google Ads agencies are are using broad match keywords within the campaigns, they're keeping a keen eye on the search term reports and have built out a really extensive negative keyword list to make sure that you're not paying for irrelevant clicks. Good ad agencies may incorporate broad match keywords within their strategy, but it's not their whole strategy. This is usually a big sign that your ads account is wasting a lot of money. Red flag number 5 is the too good to be true signed cases agencies. We see this a lot with the personal injury niche. These agencies who will promise you X amount of signed cases for X amount of dollars. They even give you a trial period where many of them will give you premium leads until they lock you into a long and tricky contract to get out of. Once you're locked into those contracts, you're lucky if 1 out of every 10 signed cases they send you actually turns into a client. The other problem with this method is you don't own the Google Ads account. You're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for data within Google Ads. And the more money you feed into your Google Ads account, the smarter the account gets. Going with agencies who sell you signed cases versus set up a Google Ads account that you get to keep is kind of like renting a house. You get something out of it while you're paying for it, but once you stop paying for it, there's nothing to show. This is probably one of the biggest red flags and something I always tell my clients to stay away from. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If any of these red flags sound familiar, it's time to make a change. Here at Legal Lead Sharks, we specialize in running Google Ads for law firms. We don't lock you into any long-term tricky contracts. You keep the Google Ads account, and we work with your team to set up the pre-qualifying questions, closing questions. We have lead tracking forms so that we're all on the same page with the quality of the leads that are coming in, and we care how many of those leads are turning into conversions for your law firm. This also allows us to get real-time feedback on what's working and not working so that we can make the adjustments, saving your firm hundreds of dollars. We've helped law firms just like yours double or even triple their lead volume without increasing their budget. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. If you want more insider tips and tricks on how to optimize your Google Ads account for your law firm, and if you want to see exactly how we set up and optimize Google Ads for law firms, click the link below and book a discovery call. We'll see you on the next video.